In this video, I'll be referring to templates and forms. You can access these forms by clicking on the link on the screen or in the description of this video.
Hello, welcome to the Homewise Power Hour on debt reduction, or what we sometimes call getting the monkey off your back. And what we're going to address here is, what does credit cost? What is debt consolidation? And is there a better way? So let's talk about debt for a minute. In the Power Hour series, we talk about many things, and one of them is credit, right? And building credit and establishing credit. And if you are like many individuals, credit can get out of hand, and then you have debt. You accumulate more and more and more. It's just so easy to put things on a credit card, and then you have debt. We work with people oftentimes, so if this is you, you are not alone. We work with people where we pull their credit report and we see they just have like tons and tons of student loan debt, auto loans, and then multiple credit cards. And their balances are so high that you're making those minimum monthly payments, and it just adds up, and it seems like you can never get ahead. So this is really what we want to talk about right now, is how do we focus first? If your main focus is reducing your debt, how do we do that? Let's talk about what credit costs you. So if you've watched our credit Power Hour yet, that's something to think about when you establish credit, is how much does it cost you? The average person has about 3 credit cards. And interest rates vary. Some are 12, some are 25, some are 29%. Your interest rates can vary. But let's just say the average interest rate you're paying is 16%. So let's just say one of those is to Best Buy, and you go and you buy a big screen TV, and then a 3D movie player, and then all these movies, and you accumulate a huge amount of debt. And on these 3 credit cards that you have a total of $7,700 in debt. $7,700. If you were to make the minimum monthly payments, because that's where they get you, right? It's only $25, $35 a month you have to pay. If you're just making your minimum monthly payments on these 3 credit cards, it's going to take you 32 years to get out of debt. 32 years. And not only that, but the interest is accumulating during that time period. And in interest, you're going to pay $14,000. So even though it was more convenient to buy that big screen TV on a credit card, if you don't really pay that off really fast, if you just make these minimum payments and spread it out over time, that simple purchase that you made that was $7,000, in the end is going to cost you $21,000. So if you are in a situation where if you have accumulated a lot of credit card debt, what's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of offers in the mail for debt consolidation, right? They're going to say, oh, it's so easy. Just consolidate all your credit cards into one small, simple monthly payment. They're going to make it nice and easy for you. But there's a couple of things you need to think about when it comes to debt consolidation. What is the rate, and is it adjustable? Oftentimes when they offer you these debt consolidation bargains, they'll say it's 0% for the next 18 months, and then the interest rate's going to be 29%. Well, if the average interest you're paying on your credit cards, remember, was 16%, and now you're going to do a debt consolidation loan that's going to be at 29%. Is that really going to save you any money? Not really. The other thing is what's the term? How long is it going to take to pay it off? The thing with your credit cards is you can make bigger payments every month and you can pay them off. But often with debt consolidation loan, what happens is you're getting a loan for a set amount, and you're going to have to pay it off over a long period of time. You can't pay it off early. So you're stuck paying off a very large amount. And if you try to pay it off early, there's prepayment penalties. What are the terms and the cost of the loan? So the other thing to look at is you always get suckered in by the little, big, bold letters of, look, it's only going to cost you, $50 to consolidate all these. Oh, or 3%. Well, 3% of what you're borrowing is going to be a lot more than the $50. So it's going to cost you a big chunk of money just to get this loan. And does it fix the problem or extend it? And this is key. The thing, if you want to get out of debt, is you have to stop using your credit cards and pay them off. That's just the bottom line how it works. If you do a debt consolidation loan, what happens? Someone makes it easy, you pay off all these credit cards, but it's almost like when people declare bankruptcy, which is a whole other issue. But if you just wipe everything out and you still have all these open credit cards and you start to use them again, you just get into debt again. So that's the thing with the debt consolidation. It almost makes it so easy that people tend to get into debt, get into the same problems that they were in before. So here at Homewise, we recommend using the Power Pay method for debt consolidation. Power Pay is a method that's been around. We didn't invent this. Sometimes it's called the avalanche method or the snowball method. There's various terms for this. But essentially what it is you just have to take your credit card and all your debts combined. You're going to list them all out, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. And you're just going to stop accumulating debt and focus on paying down debt. You have to think first, how much money could you free up to use this Power Pay method? So if you don't have any extra money, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, this method will still work for you. You don't have to add extra money in order to use this method, but it's helpful if you can find a little bit of extra money to use towards the Power Pay method. A lot of people tell me that they don't pay their minimum payments. They're always paying a little bit extra, right? They round up all of their bills a little bit so that they can hopefully pay them off quicker. But what happens is you're just putting a little bit towards each of these credit cards, and the interest is still accumulating at a very large rate. So what you want to do is think about how you're paying your bills, right? Think about money you're putting to savings each month. Think about where you can come up with a little bit of extra money each month. How much could you put towards paying down your debt? The number we think of is if you could find $50. Let's say you could find $50. If you were to take all of your debts and you're putting 5 extra here, 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, and maybe you can come up with another, $5, $10. Could you come up with $50 to paying down your debt? Because it's a huge advantage if you do, and we're going to show you in a second. We're going to work through the exercise, but you want to list out your bills and list out the interest rates and things like that. So why don't you go ahead and turn to page 4 on your handout. You're going to see a little box that looks something like this, all right? Although this one's in color, it's much prettier, right? So this is the Power Pay method. This is how you're going to do this. Now, we're going to do an exercise together so you can get the concept of how this works. But then on page 5, you're going to be able to fill in all of your own debts and interest rates and things like that and work out your own Power Pay method later on today. Anyway, so here's the first thing. Oh, wait. The first thing you want to do is list out all of your debts, right? Maybe you have a car loan, you have a couple of store credit cards, you have a Visa card or Discover card, maybe you have a bank loan, maybe you have student loans. You want to list out what your debts are first. The next thing you want to do is calculate what's the balance that you owe on all of your debts. How much do you owe? What's your balance? A key thing here is what's the interest rate you're paying on these credit cards? What's the interest rate you're paying on all of your debt? You want to fill that in. And then next, you want to fill in what's your monthly payments, right? So we've already done all that together. Now, if we were to just take these debts one at a time, right, and you're going to make your minimum payments like you are now, let's just see how long is it going to take to pay off these items. So I have a car loan at $4,800. Now, do you all have a calculator or a cell phone with a calculator on it? Okay, get it out now because you have to do this work now. Don't just sit back. So $4,800 divided by 200 is how much? So I got my cheat sheet, because I don't have a calculator. So if I am paying this car loan off, $4,800 divided by 200 is how many months is this going to take me to pay this off? That's right. 24. Here's a store credit card, right? Now, of course, this is going to accumulate interest and the balance can go up and things like that. But if you were to take this store credit card of $240 and make these $30 minimum payments, how long would that take to pay that off? Essentially, that's right. 240 divided by 30 is 8. Then we have this store credit card here. It's $540. If I pay these $45 payments, it's going to take roughly a year to pay off this credit card, right? 12 months. Now, even without a calculator, I can do this one. So 1,000 divided by 100 is 10. That one I can do. That one's nice and easy. So this is how long. It's going to take you 2 years in accumulation, right? All of this together, making these minimum payments. 2 years to pay off all this debt, right? And you're still accumulating all of this interest. But what we want to do with the Power Pay method is take that extra $50, right, from wherever we can find it, money towards savings and the extra money we're putting rounding all our bills up, and let's put it towards this method. So you have to decide which one of these bills you want to pay off first, right? Maybe it's the smallest balance because you think, I can just knock that one out of the park. Maybe it's the smallest balance you want to pay first. You're going to just pay that off really quick. Or maybe you realize like, oh, it's the interest rates that's killing me because it keeps accumulating more and more debt. So maybe it's my high interest I want to pay off first. You have to decide for yourself what works best. Well, in this scenario, it's kind of the same thing. The small one has the highest interest rate as well. So let's pay this one off first, right? And then next, well, our next smallest balance would be here. This is going to be our second priority. This will be our third. And that car loan is pretty big. That's obviously our fourth priority. So here's how the method works. What's key is you have to stop using credit cards. If you want to get out of debt, you have to stop accumulating debt. So the car loan is a fixed amount, right? I have a bank loan, that's a fixed amount, but the credit cards can go up and down. So it's really key that you lock those away in a safe deposit box or in a safe place. Let's tackle the first credit card. So we're making $30 payments. So we're taking $30 payments and we're adding $50. So to this credit card, we're going to be making $80 payments, right? $80 payments. So work along with me in your little box. You can fill it in much neater and you'll be able to read it. But we're making $80 payments on this credit card. So now how long is it going to take to pay off this credit card if I pay $80 a month? 240 divided by 80 is how much? 3. So 3 months and I'm going to have this credit card paid off. It was going to take 8 months before, but taking that extra money, that $50, and just applying it towards one debt, power paying this one debt first, 3 months, less than half the time it was going to take. And now I've got $80 a month because I don't have this credit card debt anymore. So I have $80 a month. So what's the first thing you're going to do? No, not put it towards the next credit card. The first thing we encourage you to do is go celebrate. Go treat yourself. Because this is the thing. If you do debt consolidation, it doesn't solve the problem, and you just accumulate more debt. Taking your time and really working at this method, you're going to slowly but surely be working at paying down debt, so you want to make sure you reward yourself for your efforts. So after you pay off this first credit card, go and treat the family to a pizza party. It's something. Just do something fun. So after you've done that, the next month when you're paying your bills, you have to remember you've been making your minimum monthly payments on the other cards. Just making your minimum payments like you've always done on the other cards. So 3 months have gone by, right? So really, I've been making some payments here for a while, so this credit card is probably lower. But let's be realistic. We got into debt because, well, we're kind of living paycheck to paycheck, and maybe times are tough. Maybe I blew a tire on the car. So maybe my credit card, this credit card, is still at around $540. That's okay, right? Because I've already paid off one credit card. If you had to use that credit card, it's fine. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay. Because now I have $80 a month. So I have $80 extra dollars added to my $45, right? So I'm actually going to be making how much of a payment? What's 80 and 145? Luckily, I wrote it down. $125. So you can do that math pretty quickly in your head. If you have $125 and you're going to be paying off this $540 credit card, how long is that going to take you to pay it off? It's just going to be a little over 3 months. So 3 months have gone by, another 3 months, that's 6 months. So what's happened here is before it was going to take me 12 months to pay that off. So we're paying things off quicker and faster. And now what happens is I have $125 extra a month. So what am I going to do with that $125? That's right, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to go take the family maybe to an amusement park or something. You know, do something fun. There's a carnival in town. Treat your family to something fun. Because you've already eliminated two of your debts. So now I have $125. I'm going to add it to this $100 bank loan, right? And that's $225 a month. But here's what's happened. 6 months have gone by, right? So time has gone by that I've been making my $100 payments on this bank loan. So I've already been paying for 6 months. Well, 6 times 100 is 600. So now my balance here is only $400, and I'm going to be paying $225. 2 months, that's going to be paid off. So I think you get the idea of how this is working, how it keeps adding to it. So 6, 7, 8 months. So I've saved 2 months off this bank loan, but now I have $225. Now here's where you need to make a decision for yourself. You have $225 extra each month, and you're essentially out of debt. I've got my car payment here. I'm paying $200 a month. I can keep up that payment, and I have $225. So you have to make a decision for yourself. Do I want to take the extra money and pay off my auto loan? Or do I want to start putting money towards savings, right? Do I want to start putting money towards my savings goal of a down payment on a house, or money towards my vacation, or start putting money into a retirement fund? What do you want to do with the extra money you have? So here you can kind of play it by ear. You could do $100 a month towards savings and put $125 towards the car loan. So you could play it by ear. What you want to do is use this chart here to list out all of your debts. List out all of your debts. Look at what the balances are. Investigate. Find out what interest rate you're paying. Here's a key thing. If you discover that you have a very high interest rate on a credit card, call up your credit card company. See if you can't lower that rate. Tell them you're thinking about doing a consolidation loan and transferring that balance to someone else. Chances are they're going to say, oh, well, we could lower your interest rate for 18 months as well. So play the game. But get all of your interest rates, calculate what your minimum payments are. Now, it's a lot of addition, right? A lot of math, a lot of calculating. So here's a little secret as well. If you have one of these guys, you can download the app. If you go to the PowerPay website, powerpay.org, you can actually download an app. And you can just enter in all of the information on your phone, and it'll do all of the math for you. But you always have the decision you can make. You can pay off your highest interest. You can pay off the biggest balance, the shortest balance. Anything you want to do, you can play with this system. It's really nice. But remember, how much money can you free up extra? You saw how we took that one credit card and cut the time literally in half to pay it off, which was great. But if you don't have anything to start, it's okay. Just focus on one amount first. And then you can take whatever minimum payment you were doing on that one card, add it to the next bill. So even if you don't have any extra money, it's okay. Figure out what you want to work on first. Build in rewards. This is key. Treat yourself and reward yourself for getting yourself out of debt. Don't go hog wild, but take a little bit of money and treat yourself. The next thing is, remember your goals. We do have a power hour on goals, and that's the important thing to check that out so you can figure out what are your goals, what are you saving for, what are the things you want to accomplish, because that will help motivate you in getting yourself out of debt. Another thing, be thoughtful about adding new debt. This is key. You have to stop using credit cards in order to pay them off. That's just the way it is. You have to stop using your credit cards. You have to stop accumulating more debt. So you can go to powerpay.org, download the app if you want, or you can enter in all of the information on that website as well. It makes it nice and easy. It's a glorified calculator. And keep in mind, when you go to powerpay.org, you're just going to enter in any name you want to. Just invent a password. It's all going to be made up. And when you go to the website, you're just going to put in card number 1, card 2. You're not entering in any account numbers. You're not entering in any personal information. So it's very safe and secure. It's just a glorified calculator to make it easy. You can be debt-free. These are some of the tools you can use. There's more reading information on the handout we gave you. And we're always here for you as well if you want to give us a call for more information. But that is how you get out of debt, how you get that monkey off your back.